Well, another terrible, terrible start to the year run bad wise. Before I get into that though, let me tell you some shout outs. I've been meeting a lot of people. Isaac, he's seen a few videos. I see him at Bally's. Thanks for checking out the videos, Isaac. Brian, with a Y, we were at the same table briefly, and then the next day we were in the room at the same time. Nice to meet you, Brian. Then two people, they don't know each other, but kind of connected. I was playing a table in Bally's. Seat 2 was wearing a hat that said Alaska on it, but you were from Kenosha, never got your name. You asked me where rideshare was, which was hilarious because I told you in a few days I tell you how to get there from the old rideshare. It moved in Bally's, Horseshoe, and I don't think a ton of people know, but this was before the video was out. And then when the fact that the channel existed came up, the guy on my left, Greg, with 3 G's, asked me about it, and he actually watched a couple of videos while we were playing, so nice to meet you, gentleman from Kenosha. Oh, and guy from Kenosha. Your friend came over to the table and he said you should put your nuts on the table, and you brought out this card protector. I did take a picture of it. You said, is this gonna make the vlog? It did. D-E-E-Z, that guy with the viral YouTube video, D's Nuts. Yeah, that was good. So that made the video. So guy from Kenosha in seat 2 and Greg from seat 8, that was the same day. Also, Steve, I was forgetting someone the other day when I was doing the shout outs. Steve and I went to a Padres game in July when I was playing the summer in Lake Elsinore. We went to the Padres game. Steve showed up. He had peanuts. We didn't eat them all. He let me take them with me. I happened to eat a lot of them while I was driving to Council Bluffs. While I was driving on the interstate, I would just like take a handful and crush the shells in my hand and throw the shells on the floor at my feet and eat the peanuts. And then when I got to the gas station, you know, I cleaned up the shells. The thing was, I thought I cleaned all of them up. When I was back at my parents' house over the holidays, I took out the floor mats and vacuumed. And somehow, a lot of peanut shells got underneath the floor mat. I don't even know how it's physically possible, but I took out the floor mats and I saw tons of peanut shells. So Steve, those peanuts made it all the way back to New York. So thanks again, Steve. And Steve has messaged me. He's coming to town in like a few days or a couple weeks. So I'll probably see Steve again. So there are all the shout outs. Now to the terrible, terrible poker. All right, so I usually try to memorize everything and look into the camera while I'm telling you things, but this list is so long. I wrote them down and I'm gonna read them off my phone. So I've played 48 hours of poker since I've been back in Vegas, and all of these things have happened. Because you remember last year, link at the top, I had a really terrible start. February was my first losing month of like at least 150 hours volume. I had my worst day ever. A day that combined Bally's and Westgate minus 1,028. It was my only minus $1,000 day ever. Another bad start to this year so far. Hope it doesn't get more severe. But all these things have happened. I had a set versus straight. I flopped top set. A guy had a gut shot and he rivered the gut shot. I had a pair and a draw. Another guy had a pair and a draw, but we were drawing to the same thing. So most of his outs to improve were to tie or to lose. Like he could have hit trips. I would have also hit trips and had better kicker. He had way fewer outs than he must have thought. He had 2 outs and he rivered his 2-outer. I had an overpair lose to trips. I had aces, guy had ace-5, flopped to 5, turned to 5, I doubled him up. I had an overpair lose to a boat. I had aces versus queen-6. Flop had a queen and a 6, river had another queen. I had 2 pair lose to 2 pair. I had king-jack, guy had ace-king, ace-king-jack on the flop. I had an overpair lose to a flush. I had an overpair lose to a straight. The next day, I had an overpair lose to a straight. I had 2 pair lose to 2 pair. I had king 10, guy had ace 10, ace king 10 on the board. I had trip aces, lose to a straight. I had ace queen, I had trip aces. Guy had 8-9, he had a straight. I had overpair lose to trips another time. I had 2 pair lose to a straight. I had queens on a 10 high board, felt pretty good about it. Guy had a set. I had queens on a 6 high board, felt pretty good about it. Guy had a bigger overpair, lost a buy-in on that one. And I had aces versus ace-king offsuit all in pre-flop, and the guy hit 4 clubs. And that was a full buy-in. The guy just sat down, full 300. So, not that these are the only hands I've played. I have won hands, but even in the winning hands, bad things are happening. I had aces versus kings all in pre, and I won. The guy started the hand with $54. I had 10s versus ace-4 all in pre, and I held. Guy started the hand with about $50. I had middle set on the flop, all in against an open-ended straight draw. The guy bricked. The guy had $51 left on the flop. So when the guy has $50 left, I hold. When the guy has a full buy-in, I light it on fire. So pretty terrible things. In the hands I'm losing, and even in the hands I'm winning. Miraculously, not a ton of these are all in. I usually identify that something terrible is happening and I lose small. I'm not even down 2 buy-ins yet. Hopefully, yet isn't a great word. I don't want to be down 2 buy-ins, but the severity isn't even as bad as -2 buy-ins. And I want it to get better. Hope it gets better. I'm gonna go to the strip, probably play a combo of like Bally, Caesar's Bell, stay in that area tonight. And yeah, terrible things have happened, but these things happen. It's just like really annoying that last year it started out like this, actually started out worse, and didn't get like a ton better for an entire year, and now it's starting instantly again. On the way here, things weren't bad. -5 on the way, doing those 7 states in one day. Link at the top if you missed that video. It's 3 videos. I'll put the link to the first one at the top, and then played a little bit in the central time zone. But yeah, got to Vegas, and 48 hours, things have been pretty terrible. So that's that. It happens. I'm going to keep playing, and haven't given you a Trooper update in a long time because over the break I was watching other things. It's very easy for me to watch Trooper videos like as I'm getting ready, or when I go back to my room at the end of the night. When I was in New York, I didn't watch any. I have been making progress now that I've been back. These 2 videos, titles on the screen. This was interesting. Someone asked him if Westgate had a poker room. They heard it was about to reopen. This was like 2017, I guess. And his answer was, I haven't heard anything about that. Little did he know that he was about to start having his own game at the Westgate that he would host for over 6 years. So it was cool hearing that in those 2 videos. Also, the video, the title of which is on the screen right now, it was cool. He mentioned, like, jokingly, I think he gave someone a lollipop, I don't even remember. And he mentioned jokingly, oh, maybe I'll just be a lollipop salesman from now on. And a few years later, yeah, that's his main focus now. That was cool to hear him mention that. That lollipop video, also, there were, I don't think they were hookers. I had a video, link at the top, where hookers were fighting in the hallway between Bally's and Paris. He was outside Planet Hollywood, and a fist fight between black women broke out, and he got a lot of it on camera. So that's a cool video to go back and watch if you just want to watch one, not every single one. And last Trooper video, this is really awesome. Go back and watch this one if you only watch one of these 4 that I'm telling you. He identified a shell game and the people who are the lookout and the scam and everything, and he happened to like walk by, like I have my camera out right now, he happened to walk by saying things, and then he kind of stopped, turned, they were looking at him, and a guy came up to him. And like, I don't know what the guy's plan was, but like Trooper was ready to fight. And they exchanged some words, and then the guy like cowered and ran off. But that was really cool to watch that. He has walked by shell games a lot and said something. This was like the most that ever happened as a result of him walking by with a camera when a shell game was going on. So that was a cool video, and I'm going to continue to watch them, and that's it for today's video. All right, back in my room here next. So I filmed before I played, then I played, now I'm back. Add to the list, 2 pair lost to a flush and over pair lost to a straight. Somehow made money today, but still the beats just keep coming.